Hear ye, hear ye. Tolling roll coming down the road. 1776 riding again. The remonsters awake. Let the people speak. We gotta pass that bill, H.R. 1776. Hey now, the people's remedy, restoration, set us free. Tolling roll is rolling, hear the freedom call. From the convoy to the Capitol, we're standing tall. Bringing fire back again. We delivered that remonstrance straight to Congress Hall. A new declaration rising, answering the call. We gotta pass that bill, H.R. 1776. Hey now, the people's remedy, restoration, set us free. The people's will. Americana spirit burning like the fires of 76. Fiddle playing rebel tunes while the reggae rhythm kicks. They said it couldn't happen, said the system's locked up tight, but the people woke from slumber, walking toward the light. Every single day. Oh, the remonstrance breathing, feel it in the air. Justice long denied, but the people still care. From the heartland to the hallways, let the voices rise. No more silent suffering, no more compromise. Trucking through the tyranny 1 mile at a time. 1776 revival, this moment is prime. We need every patriot to call, to write, to stand. Facts, those letters raise a roof across this mighty land. The remedy and restoration waits on Capitol Hill. One vote, one voice, one nation, learning how to heal. No more families torn asunder, no more hidden hands. Pass H.R. 1776. Reclaim the promised land. We gotta pass that bill, H.R. 1776. Hey now, the people's remedy, restoration, set us free. Tolling roll is rolling, hear the freedom call. From the convoy to the Capitol, we're standing tall. Pass the bill, pass the bill. They are taking our kids every day. Oh, come on. They knock, yeah, yeah. They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried. You have a voice today. So listen up, everyone here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come, we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to break it. Stay calm, step away. Ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. Oh, yeah. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, goddammit. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher screaming out loud. Abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by Tiff Tag. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come, picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the case workers unhandily. So give us back the kids. Tiff and the Punisher, sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are on Nintendo's. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher. Warrior. Hey! Then we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. Our children are being stolen away too often. So CPS,
Get down.
plan on doing
Get
the
down.
stopping. I stop. Big doctor.
Woo! What's up, Tiff?
What?
What's going on?
None but my eyes are messing with me again tonight.
Oh boy, I seen you water in the eyes. I thought you was crying because of the song.
No, I
Mm.
like the song. It's
All
just
right.
this pollen.
Well, surprise! It's Happy Friday night. It's a surprise night.
It
Over here.
is.
Yep. Now to address this, I love this person right here. CPS workers are domestic terrorists and baby brokers. We must abolish the evil near our children. You're damn right. That is, and wait,
Yep.
that falls right into line with our guest tonight. We got Miss Classic here with us. She's here, and her and I just had a conversation, and I can't wait until you hear what I just learned from her, and not a better person to learn from. Um, it's really it's something. I'm just gonna bring her out. There's no need to need me. I can't. I want to explain this to you so badly that I want to just bring her out. It's Classic. Oh, there she went.
Trying to get you guys.
There you go. We're there. Oh no, you're not. My damn button. There,
I'm almost. Yay, I'm back.
we're here. All right. You're going to stay here. What's happening, Miss Classic?
You know, same old, same old. Hey, Tiff.
Happy
I'm
Friday
super
night.
excited.
Yeah. So we got to come up with a name for her show, Tiff, because Classic's going to start doing a show for us. So we got to think of a good name for her show. The show is going to be about more or less like the foster stuff. Right, Classic? That's the way we were talking. Like what it does to the foster parents and how it is on their side of the fence. And Classic.
Yeah, for the foster, but specifically for the difference between the two different types of foster categories, which there are.
Yes.
So there's a regular foster homes, which are everything that you guys talk about, that you fight against, that are people that are in it for the money or that are willfully, blindly ignorant to the system. And then there are foster to adopt homes. And foster to adopt homes are homes that are they're under a completely different umbrella, a completely different category.
And how do they decide which home a child goes to?
Well, so for my husband and I adopted 4 children, and it's been 20 years almost now. But the way that it works was, we went into an adoption agency and said we want to be good people and we want to help a child that is in need. And we assumed that we were going to get a child who needed a mommy and a daddy. We didn't know that wasn't necessarily the case. And the reason is because what happens is the adoption agencies then contract with DFACs. So I didn't go to DFACs looking to adopt. I went to a private adoption agency looking for a private adoption. That adoption agency contracted with DFACs. We did not understand this process or know about it at the time. So the children that are being placed for adoption are actually, a lot of them are children that parental rights have not been terminated on yet. So when you're a foster to adopt home, it's a home that takes a risk. Basically, CPS is telling you we're 100% sure that we're going to get a TPR on this family. But what happens is they only even put them in adoptive homes because they think there's a chance that they're not going to win the case. See? So if they think that they're not going to win, that they can't keep your kids and they can't and get what they want, then they put them in what's called a foster to adopt home. So this home assumes they never think the child's going to move out. It's not a temporary home. We're planning to adopt this child. And then they ask you as the parent now to tell the judge that you're willing to adopt. And so I may be, my phone is like dying. So I'm completely ignorant. I haven't heard the court hearing. I have no idea why I've been lied to about why the child's in care, about what the parents are like. I have no idea. So the foster parents may know, and they get full insight, and they get to meet the parents and go to visits and all this. The adoptive parents don't get that. We get snowed. We get told whatever the caseworker wants to tell us to make us feel and puff us up that we're doing a good job.
The right thing.
The right thing.
Mhm.
And that's what we came for. I went to a private Christian adoption agency
Mhm.
looking to take in children who needed me.
Mhm.
What the hell did I know?
Right.
Well, I will tell you this. Valerie, when we had her on our show, they pushed Clinton, and this is why. And when Clinton signed this act, it was actually the private adoption agency pushing this, because it's all, like you said, it's all intertwined, right? Because not many women will give up their babies. Okay, let's just be for real.
Mhm.
Sure.
They grow inside us. We know them. They know us.
Right.
Not many people want to give up their babies. Even if they sign, they have 14 days to rescind.
So usually you don't, unless you have a medical need. So the deal is they're not actually trying to adopt your kids out. They want to keep them in foster care. Okay. So when they get an adoptive home like ours, they scrutinize us. They make sure our dogs have their rabies shots. They make sure every duck is in a row. They do everything they can to try to disqualify you. Even though when they needed you for that TPR, they had you show up for the judge and say, "Are you willing to adopt these kids?" "Yes, I am." But when they're done puffing you up, they start treating you like shit from that moment on, because they don't want you to adopt the kids. So then you get a caseworker, a CASA worker, your private adoption agency. So I've got somebody in my house every single week for 3 years, scrutinizing my household, trying to find a reason why I can't adopt. So we have to go through hoops and be perfect and mind our P's and Q's, just like you do when you're in a case.
Mhm.
Well, so our first adoption was 15 years ago. And she was 5 at the time. None of our children were babies when they came to us. You have to have a medical need to get a baby. So if you want a child under the age of 2, you have to have a medical need.
Wow.
Otherwise, they're going to keep that child in care until they're 2 years old. Period.
Wow.
They're not trying to adopt them to you. So then when you finally get approved and you've gone through all the hoops, then they send somebody to your house every single week, and you have a case plan open basically for your whole life, and everything is scrutinized and you're put through hoops. And then, if you're one of the lucky ones and you actually make it to adoption, it still doesn't end. Every single year they want you to basically reapply. So kids, they all come with Medicaid until they're 18. That's it's supposed to be a perk, a gift to you. But really, of course, they're just following you around. They want to know what providers you're seeing. They want to know how often you're seeing them. If you miss a well check, they'll come fucking to your house and well check themselves. If your kid doesn't go to the dentist that year, they'll freaking call these adoptive homes 15 years later. My life is still an open case plan. I have been under the mercy of CPS for the crime of adopting.
Wow.
My biological children have been threatened, like our life has been hell. The
Your
children
show
have
could
been
be
wonderful.
Your show could be called Fraud by Foster Care.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like things that use
Write
the
it
F a
down.
lot.
You better write it
Yeah.
down.
I had a different F in mind for my foster care right before, but
Right.
That's funny.
Fraud by foster care.
Yes, I like
and
it.
so adopting is like I was telling Darren earlier, it's kind of like real estate, like buying a house. The seller has their agent, right? So the children come with an agency, the defects agency, or the adoption agency, and then we show up at the table as a representative, right? And we come with our own agency. And both parties are lying to each other a little bit, right? You don't want to tell if there's a leak in the basement. You don't want to say if there's a little smudge on your credit, right? So when you're adopting, you don't like want to say like, oh, did you have substance use in your history when you were a teenager? Because they want to know everything. Did your parents, if your parents spanked you when you were a kid, they don't want to adopt you because you might spank your kids then.
Well, spanking is a form of discipline. They need to get the fuck over that.
Oh no, not in foster. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are not allowed to touch the kids. Children, if they're owned by the state makes sure that the parent, the foster parent, the adoptive parent, their lives are hell. Absolute hell. So they want the kid to be spoiled, get whatever they want, say yes, yes, yes. That we are left. There's no option for discipline.
Yeah, but aren't we making? We're either making a society of criminals, or we're making a society of entitlement.
And that's exactly what it is. And you can, look at the history. I know you guys talk about it all the time, where this country was, where it's been, where it is. My husband and I have been criminally charged for not allowing our children to have laptops and cell phones at the age of 14.
But that is not
And when I came in front of the bail judge, when I was making bail the second time for all my kids, which it's ridiculous. It's a long story, but I asked the judge, I said, so if I give my son a phone, if I get him addicted to porn, if I help him start on substance abuse, if I move him into the system of criminality, will I be a good mom then? And he looked me right in the eye. He said, you need to get a good lawyer. This is bull.
Wow. Woo, Lord almighty.
And so I did. I took his advice and I did that.
Well, first of all, somebody needs to produce a law
Renee,
that says that your child is entitled to a laptop, an iPhone, or whatever, cell phone, all this shit. Because I'm going to tell you, they can't produce any law.
No. And so what it comes down to is a disagreement in parenting style by my husband and I, and the detective who ultimately decided to take up this just cause, having us arrested and doing all of his good duties. So him and his wife are, they're permissive. Their kids do other things. They do organized sport. That's totally fine. Do what you want. Okay. I have 7 kids. We don't do organized sports. I can't take them to 2 practices a week and a game on Saturday and do that for 7 kids. That's unrealistic. I can't do that. I can't give them all driver's licenses because my insurance goes up like $800 every 6 months. And I have 4 teenagers at a time, I can't afford to get them a driver's license. I can't afford to get them a cell phone. I'm not a foster home. I'm not making it money and dough like this and that. We're just people working for our kids, and we're doing the best we can for them. And they're punishing us, not for they didn't have water poverty, not they didn't have electricity poverty or a roof over their head, but the poverty of not having a cell phone.
So let me tell you about my kids. None of my kids have their driver's license, so they moved the fuck out of my house because I'm not
Yeah,
paying that high ass insurance.
that's what we're doing now because we made the mistake with our first one and our rates went through the roof. And I was like, damn, and they wouldn't take it off. I said, well, he's not going to drive anymore. That's just, we can't afford it. They said, no, if he has a license and he lives in your home, we are required to keep him on your policy.
And not only that, I'm the type of parent that I'm not going to let you get in a 2,000-pound vehicle and possibly kill yourself and somebody else. No, when you're 19, you can get your own damn license, your own car insurance, and you'll be on your own.
That's our policy too. They make it clear I'm legally responsible for you, and then they make it out like if I'm not more permissive and don't allow you to get in trouble, that I've done something wrong.
So I had a rule in my house. If you were under the age of 18, but you were 16, on the weekends you could hang out with your friends as long as I knew who you were with, what you were doing, and what time you'd be home. But the rule was, if I ever had to come to the police department to pick you up, or you showed up at the door with the police, you are grounded until your 18th birthday at 12:01 when I sit your shit out on the front porch.
Yep. I'm with that. I threw my mother-in-law out. I put her shit on the front porch. My husband and I had only been married for like 6 months. And I was like, this bitch, I called him at work and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And he was like, no, you're not. I said, no, I am. I had it all the way up and I'm only 4'11", but that was as far as I go. I had it up to there and I put her stuff on the porch and I was like, you come and get it. You can't come in. She lived in California. We lived in Georgia. I was like, you're going to have to catch a plane, honey. Bye.
I don't blame you.
She was evil, though. She was evil.
Well, yeah. That's what my husband would say about my mom. But anyway, I cannot believe that they charge you. See, my response to them would have been this. That's fine. They can have a cell phone. As long as you pay the bill, because I'm not paying the bill.
Right. And then if they need counseling because of what they saw on there, you can pay that bill too.
Yeah, they can pay everything.
If they get charged with a school shooting because of what they learned on there, you can pay for their attorney's fees too. How does this sound, dumbass?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they take them from parents who they probably shouldn't have taken them from. No.
My first adoption, the parents were just basically in poverty, they just needed some help. But I didn't know that then. We're left completely in the dark. So, I know that foster homes, adopted homes, everybody gets a bad rap, especially on forums like this, and people who support people like you. And, I really want for the audience to understand that we're lied to too. We're told you're saving these kids. They're coming from this terrible thing. And you say, oh my gosh, what happened? Well, my hands are tied. I can't really tell you all the details, and it's like, they're just blowing smoke up your butt the whole time. And they know it. And they get what they want out of you because you say to the judge, yep, I'm willing to adopt. And then they try to find reasons to keep you from being able to successfully do that because their goal is to keep them in the foster care system.
So I'm not a foster parent, but I would have a problem with that. And I'm going to tell you why. You don't know because you don't know what's in somebody's DNA. You don't know if the father or the mother were sexual abusers, murderers. You don't know what you're getting.
Right.
Honestly, you really don't. Now I'm not saying that all kids turn out bad that are in foster care. But I truly believe, and I believe this with my heart of hearts, if we keep them in the family, somewhere in the family, they would do much better.
Both of our adoptions, there's 4 children, but 3 of them are siblings. They had other family available to them.
Now they didn't want them, or they didn't take them?
No, they had willing family available to them.
So they wouldn't place them with them.
So, you know, this was, like I said, like 15, 20 years ago. So I was 25. Well, I'm older than that, so I'm doing my math wrong. But anywho, never mind that. Oh my God, distracted. Got what I was saying.
Hey, Classic, someone wants to know what your charges were. Do you mind? Would you share those?
Yes. So we were charged with 4 counts of child abuse in the 1st degree.
Whoa, in the 1st degree. In the 1st degree.
How long ago were you charged?
She's still
over a year.
Okay, so you have the right to a speedy trial unless you waived it.
Actually, you don't. So we were charged when we were arrested. We have not been formally charged. We've not been indicted. Okay. So you actually don't have a right to a speedy trial until after you've been indicted. And they're not going to indict us.
No, they're not, because it's a bogus charge.
And let me tell you this, my son works for the department that came and arrested us.
Oh my.
He had no clue. My adopted son, whom they allegedly came on his behalf to arrest me, and he had no idea.
That's crazy.
Where are the kids now?
Only 2 of our 7, only 2 of the children still resided at home when they came back into our lives to do this, and they're home.
But you're such an abuser.
They're home, but they're still dangling these charges with no indictment over our head. So for the last 18 months, I intentionally left my PhD program and my dissertation. I had only a year left before I was going to be Dr. Classic. And I work professionally as a psychologist. I worked as a mental health counselor. And so they are, the board kept my license active because they couldn't find any reason not to. But I can't get work. I can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you Google my name, only one thing comes up. I don't have a Facebook page. I don't have a LinkedIn. We don't do social media. We don't do the internet. Our kids don't have phones. We also don't do those things. This is the most interaction on social media I've ever had.
Right.
As God is my witness. So, it's all just back assward.
Yeah. Pitter Patter says that she's charged with, let's see, her charges are 1st and 2nd degree cruelty for children. My daughter was medically kidnapped and they took her son also. Wow. Her parenting class instructor said that they want the little white babies they adopt out at $100,000 per baby, he says. Cruelty to children.
So this is what they do. This is the sly. This is the sly that they have on everybody, okay? They take the babies. The babies are taken by defects, right? They're in defects custody. But not really. because DFACS is contracted with that private adoption agency, right?
Mhm.
And so they will place that infant in with this adoptive home through this private agency that DFACS is contracting through. Now, this person doesn't know that this child came from foster care. They think they received a baby that was given up intentionally by a mother whom wants to have them placed with their family. They feel lucky, chosen,
Yeah.
grateful. They have no idea that the children, that when they go to Bethany Christian Services and they're asking for an infant and they're showing medical need that they can't have babies of their own, and they finally get placed with a baby, that child's been stolen. They don't know it.
Mhm.
And then they pay the tens of thousands or $100,000 fees to Bethany Christian Services for a private adoption. Christian Services bucks back to the CASA workers, the DFACS workers, the GALs. Everybody gets a cut, and nobody's the wiser.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
you need to bring this to the forefront.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when we were
I
talking.
had no idea. When we got a phone call, we went to the adoption agency. We had our interviews. We were so hopeful. We were young and stupid and like, oh, I hope they choose us. And they did. And we got a phone call and they said, we want you to meet somebody. We've matched you with somebody, blah, blah, blah. We went and met and had visits and had sleepovers. And then she came to stay forever. And we did not know that it was a foster child. We thought we were being placed with a child through a private adoption agency.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
So you've run the risk of losing of the trauma of the removal yourself, because now you fall in love with this kid and they could just come marching in and take that kid from you, one, because you have
The whole time. So once you adopt from foster care, you have an open CPS case for the rest of your life until your youngest child turns 18. Every
Wow.
year they want an update. Every year they want to know if social security numbers have changed, because they want to be sure that Medicaid rolls in and they can do that fraud and do all their bamboozling the way they want to. They want to know everything, and they will come and find out. And if they don't hear from you, they'll call your pediatrician. They'll say, hey, did so-and-so come in this year? When was the last time you saw him? And they'll answer the questions as if your adopted child who's been adopted and lived in your home and you've loved for 10 years is your foster kid. And they will start answering HIPAA violating private information and tell that worker whether or not your kid's been there to the dentist or been to a wellness check. And if not, they will come to your door and knock, 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 and open a case on you, because they don't want those kids adopted. They want them in foster care.
Right.
So let me ask you this. When they're adopted, do the foster parents get the amended birth certificates, or does the state get them for the foster parents?
Like the adoptive parents?
Yes.
So the state does it. The judge handled it. We all we had to do was show up at court. We just got chosen by the adoption agency, and then we showed up at court, and the gavel went down. They asked a couple questions, and it was all smiles and giggles. All the other stuff that happened without us.
I always wondered about that.
Well, Pitter
I
Patter.
didn't understand that until a long time later.
So, and I hate to keep going back, but Pitter Patter says this. She says, my daughter has a rare heart condition, and DFACS is acting like we put the hole in her heart. They arrested us, and my baby was in and out of the hospital, then ended up having open heart surgery. She said that the foster mom attends every juvenile hearing in their case. by Zoom.
So she needs to get an understanding. If usually foster parents are not that invested, right? They're usually in it for the paycheck. They don't care much. The caseworkers will transport kids and show up at hearings. If a foster parent is showing up at a hearing, they may not be a foster parent. They may be a foster to adopt parent, and that is something different.
Mm-hmm. That's
That parent has an investment. That parent has been lied to. That the birth parents are horrible, terrible people who did all these heinous things to this child who was going to grow up and be a terrible person themselves if only you hadn't come in to their life.
Mm-hmm.
And so they will show up because they believe that they are fighting for something that they've been lied to. They have no idea. For all they know, for all that foster parent knows, or this I'm sorry, the screen's too small for me to see her name again. But you're the woman who's showing up to and is fostering your child may believe that you're did drugs while she was in the womb. They may believe that you're a terrible that you tried to abort the baby while she was in utero and it didn't work. These caseworkers will say anything to get these people on their side. And so if that person seems like they're way against you, it's probably not because they're actually terrible people. It's probably because they've been lied to, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, until a child takes its first breath, it is deemed a fetus. The federal courts have already said that you cannot take a child for abuse and neglect over drug use while the child was in utero. The other thing they said was drug abuse alone is not enough to remove a child from its parent, right? Because you go from the harm of the child to the behavior of the parent.
Right. But they will twist it. They will twist it with a judge and a GAL and say, well, a little dabbling, some drug use, I would understand. But Your Honor, the child has a hole in her heart.
Right.
You understand? They lie.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know they lied. When I was going through my case, my lawyer stood up and had this CPS worker's whole testimony impeached because she got caught lying. And then, of course, their lawyer was like, oh, my God, we didn't know what was going on. Well, they fired her ass.
That's awesome. Well, something needs to happen with our people. And I don't know, with our criminal case still pending, I can't really start filing suit against, CPS and all of that. But
right.
Our son, they showed 2 different forensic interviews in the trial, but then they didn't present him for cross-examination. So they gave testimony, but then didn't present him for cross-examination.
Right. Wow.
So that's a complete violation. Each of the 2 interviews were starkly different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, I was like, what is he saying? Well, later he went to the judge and said, Judge, the detective in the case that charged my parents actually took us out to lunch on one of our court breaks and told me what to say.
That's tampering with a witness.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge sent my son home that day.
That's tampering with a witness. That's a crime.
And he still works there, and he is the supervisor of my other son.
That's a crime. And that's coaching.
Yeah. You think?
It's coaching and tampering with a witness. No. You better find out when those statute of limitations run out, because I'm telling you, it's got to be coming up soon.
So statute of limitations for child abuse case in Georgia is 7 years.
What?
So we could potentially, we'll run out of money by then. We won't be able to eat. We'll end up losing our kids anyway because we can't get jobs. We had to sell our farm. We moved into something smaller. We're doing what we can to get by, but we literally can't work.
So I'm going to tell you, another guy that I am friends with, they adopted 5 children. Well, they ended up with a CPS case for bogus shit. Anyway, they charged her with parental kidnapping because her son ran away from the facility, called her. She picked him up and drove him back.
Yeah.
They charged her with kidnapping. They waited 5 years. Okay. She was about to go to trial. She dies of cancer and they acquit her of all the charges.
Oh my gosh.
After she died.
Wow.
And her husband, they had put him in jail. He couldn't even be with his wife on his deathbed. And none of her kids could either.
Oh my God. That is awful.
That's insane.
Horrendous.
They try to keep us from our kids. They put in bond conditions on our release not to have contact with our children.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. See, that's my ignorant mindset. In their mind, it's different. So the truth is, I was only not allowed to have contact with my adopted children. So the alleged was that only the adopted children had somehow been harmed by not having a cell phone, but they were not concerned about the harm that my biological children had undergone by not having access to a laptop or TV or whatever.
Wow.
Then it goes back to they feel that foster kids are entitled. That's what it sounds like to me. Your biological kid, it's okay for you to do that to them. But you have, like you said, you have to treat them different. No, you should not treat them different.
They don't believe they're entitled. They're just buying their affection so they'll keep their lies when they get to court. When it comes that time, when I need you to pull out a stop for me, you're going to say the right thing. You understand? So they keep advocating for the kid and they'll keep pressuring the adults no matter what, because when it comes down to it, they need that kid on their side. And so they will advocate for the child to get whatever they want, whatever their heart desires, and look, I want to buy you all a pony. Okay. But I can't. I just can't.
So I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Medea movies.
Yes, I love Medea.
Okay, I have to watch her sometimes just because I'm going to tell you, if that bitch was real, her and I'd be sitting in prison together. No bullshit. But anyway, she took on the foster child and she was popping her gum, and she told her, stop popping that gum, little girl. And she told her she wasn't going to stop popping it. And Medea was gonna fuck her up, and she said, "I'll call 911." And Medea told her, "I will slap you so hard you will call 919." So I remember my daughter came home because they're teaching this shit at school. Oh, if there's problems at home, you come tell somebody. You better not. Right? That's none of their business. But anyway. She came home and she's like, I'm telling the school. I said, let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to beat your ass. And then I'm going to call 911 and tell them to come and get you. You don't even have to call.
Wow.
Was she into that idea?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, it was all different then.
Mhm.
But I did kick her out at 15. Yes, I did. I packed her shit up. I called her father. I said, because I had a rule in my house. The day you think you're big enough to put your hands on me, that's the day you're too grown to live under my roof.
Yeah.
So she put her hands on me. My husband stopped me from slamming her face into the road and killing her. I came in. I called her dad. I said, I'm dropping her off. I'm not paying you child support because even if I did, for the next 3 years, you would still owe me a refund.
Right.
And you're taking her.
Yeah, some kids, they are just out of hand. You can't talk sense into them. There's nothing you can do. And, you know, the caseworkers, they just want to be like, well, you just have to find a way. You just have to find a way. Well, you're not allowed to keep them from having dessert. You're not allowed to restrict any food from them. If everybody else is having dessert, they have to have dessert. If everyone else is watching a movie, they have to watch a movie. If you say they're grounded for the weekend, that doesn't have any actual meaning.
I commend you, because the first thing nobody's going to do is tell me how to run my household. I don't care if I adopted them, they live here. It doesn't matter to me, because until you pay my bills and you're putting food on my table and paying all my bills, that includes my mortgage, my electric, my water, my gas, everything, you have no right to come in my house and tell me what to do.
Right. That's it. It just came down to a difference in parenting styles. You don't like my parenting style. That's fine. I don't like your parenting style. Like, that's not the style I would choose. That doesn't mean we can't be friends. We can be friends. We may not have play dates together because we might not want to go to the same places, but that doesn't mean you and I can't hang out, or, you know, we can't get together at each other's homes. There's lots of things that you still have in common, even if you have differences in parenting styles. But to take it so far that you have so this guy, first of all, he works with my son, like I was telling you, okay? He's a supervisor. My son graduated college when he was 17 years old.
Wow.
He started at the sheriff's department when he was 18.
Wow.
He's 20 now. And this guy hates my son. Now my poor adopted foster care child, okay, he hates him for the privileges that he's had being raised in my home. For his homeschooling, for his opportunities, for the fact that he's moving up the ranks at work so quickly that everybody likes him. They think it's amazing that he graduated high school at 13 and college at 17, and everybody's talking about the new guy. Well, detective doesn't like that, and he's taking it out on me and daddy. And it literally comes down to a difference in parenting style, because his teenagers smart off to him and my teenagers graduate college. You know, fuck you. I don't care if you got a problem at your house. You need to take that up at your house. Don't come bring the SWAT to my house to take it up. That's not going to make your kid not be a jackass tomorrow.
Yeah. Everybody's parenting skills are different, right? But I will tell you this, my kids' parenting skills are just like mine. Like, if we tell you like 3 times to stop doing something before you get hurt, and then you get hurt.
That's nice. You're not going to hear it from me 3 times. My rule is 2 times is 1 time too many.
Well, this is what I say. And these are my grandkids. I'm like, that's what the fuck you get. I mean, don't come over here crying. I mean, I see the blood coming out your mouth because you smacked your mouth on the floor. I'll wipe the blood off. But you were told 3 times to stop doing it.
Right.
Now you understand why we were telling you to stop doing it.
Right. But see, the problem is if you allow your children to learn like that, this is poo-pooed on in society today. You're supposed to cushion them in a bubble, You're supposed to all wear those, like, remember those Charmin commercials when they had all the tissue all over? They want your kids to look like that and walk around in society like that. And not just physically, emotionally too. They have to be
Well, I got
emotionally
news.
bubble wrapped and cared for ever so delicately. And I'm a rub some dirt on it kind of gal, you know? We can get over it. We have work to do. You'll be fine. And
Yeah, you know what? If you're cushioning them to that point, they are not ready for the world, because the world is a very cruel place.
yes.
It sure is.
And my kids have had to learn the hard way real quick. So, you know, when my two kids were removed from us under a safety plan because we were being arrested, they went to live with my son, who worked for the sheriff's department. So I called him, you know, my husband had called him, and he was on site immediately. And we knew our rights. I was like, hell no, my kids are going with him. And she was like, well, I'm just not sure if we can work that out, and da 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 da. So if you'll sign here, like, no, I'm doing nothing. So you release my kids to him. They're going with him. And then I started citing statistics for her. Do you know how many kids get molested in foster care? Do you know how many kids are abused in foster care? Do you know what the stats are on this? Do you know that people like us adopted in order to keep shit like that from happening? What the hell are you doing? But they were doing exactly what they intended. That's the agenda. They want the kids in foster care. Period. And it doesn't matter. It was 15 years ago, the adoptions. They will keep on and on. They never stop. Never.
That just says something for the whole reunification thing, doesn't it?
What?
I said that just says something about reunification's a joke, right?
It's all a joke.
They never have any intentions on reunifying you and your children.
Well, reunification and adoption get about the same amount of funding, about 3%.
From the day you sign your plea bargain, which is your safety plan, actually what you're doing is you're telling the state that it's okay to put your kids up for adoption.
Right. And I learned that from you guys later. But I had signed a safety plan, which was completely void ab initio, because I'm in handcuffs. They literally had to take the handcuffs off me so that I could sign the fucking piece of paper so that they would let him leave with my son instead of take them to God knows where. And so as soon as we get into court, I'm yelling, this is totally void ab initio. This is bullshit. I got no case plan. I am not in contract with these people. I learned all this from Tiff. I was like, oh, hell no to the no to the no. And then my attorney was trying to be like, you just need to go with the flow and work the plan. And you can maybe get the kids back by next October.
Nope.
And I was like, well,
never been taken.
No, I said, no. I fired him. I got my next guy. I went and interviewed my next attorney. And then I got him so on fire about our case. He got his wife involved. So they both showed up for the same price because they were both so pissed off about what was going on. And then while the first attorney was telling me, Classic, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. And I was like, you need to get more excited. Okay. And so when we got with the second attorney, I got him on fire, and he brought his wife with him, and they were raring to go. And I'm sitting there and I was like, oh, Dave, you need to calm down, man. You're going to piss the judge off. He was awesome. And that I hired him on a Friday. We had court on Tuesday. My daughter came home that day. And then 2 weeks later, my son came home.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, having a good attorney. And the thing is not just about having a good attorney. It's about using things like Darren's app and stuff, being prepared for your attorney so that when you go to them, they need to believe that you're innocent. Mm-hmm. If you walk in there half-hearted and blah, they're going to treat you like a half-hearted case.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know that you're prepared, that you have your ducks in a row, that your innocence is important to you. And if you don't convey that, and I don't mean go in there and start cussing and piss them off, but go in there with your ducks in a row. Here's my documentation. Here's my app. Here are the laws I think have been violated. Here's my reasoning for this or that, and show that you're ready to take on the fight as much as you expect them to take it on for blank amount of dollars. Then you get a different person in the courtroom.
Well, that's true, because every attorney I've ever hired, they have to have two qualities. The first thing is they have to be as aggressive as I am, because if you're not, I'm firing you in front of God and everybody. The second thing is I will produce all my evidence, but because I know I will go to jail, all you have to do is argue the case. That's all you have to do, and be aggressive about it. And that's it. If you can't do either one of those, you're gone.
Right. And I had worked tirelessly, obviously, no sleeping, no eating. You guys know the drill. The kids are taken. We got home from jail, and that was all I did was prepare. And then our attorney was like sending me some AI'd questions. He said he might ask these on the stand, and then we had 3-day trial, and I swear, did not ask me one of the questions he asked me to prepare for.
Yeah, did that on purpose.
I mean, our future is in these people's hands. So you think, man, I've paid good money. I've worked hard. I've begged, pleaded for to come up with these dollars to hire this attorney. And then you pass out the money to that attorney. And most parents go, okay, now I feel a little relief. It's in somebody else's hands. No. No. That's absolutely, look, these attorneys, they make plenty of money. You're $3,000, you're $5,000, you're $6,000. You're not even paying for one plane ticket for their family for their next first class vacay. Okay. You don't mean anything. It's a lot to you, but it's not a lot to them.
I remember I hired this attorney in Maryland for my husband, but I talked to him first. I only talked to him for 10 minutes, and he was like, oh my God, Tiffany, I would hate to be in a courtroom with you because I feel like I'm talking to another attorney. Then this dude begged me 3 times, oh, please come work for me. I'll put you through paralegal school, da-da-da-da-da. The 4th time, this is a whole different conversation. Oh no, if I come to Virginia, I'm putting you through paralegal school and you will come and work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband said, he just kept going back, because I was on the phone, I'm walking around, I'm talking to him. And my husband said it was like watching a ping pong, because we were going back and forth.
Right.
But he was aggressive and he got the job done. And he said, I've never had a client be as prepared and disqualified everything or rebutted everything and had proof. And I said, man, that's what I do. Everything that was in this petition that this bitch filed, I disproved all of it. I discredited her. I had everything I needed. And we went in there and we whooped that ass.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been working with and advocating for a guy. He and the mother of his 5 children, they've never been married. They broke up. He works on oil rig. He went off to work on oil rig. She was in Florida. He left her in a nice house, blah, blah. He'll be back. Well, while he was gone, she decided to move to some like hotel or something with 5 kids, a newborn baby. Like, I'm pretty sure she's on drugs. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't want to speculate, but anyways, things went south for her, and the CPS showed up. She ended up getting arrested. Well, they were having her 72-hour hearing. Well, he shows up and they're like, who are you? He's like, I'm the dad. And they're like, oh, we didn't know there was a dad.
Wow.
Oh, this changes things.
Wow.
Oh, I bet it does. Oh, yeah, because now he's got 5 kids. The oldest is 6. The youngest is 4 months.
Oh my.
So this is a cash cow we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kids are going to be either very adoptable for kickbacks or in the system for a long, long time for kickbacks. Either way, they're very profitable. So they told him, no, you're not legitimized. He said, I have DNA evidence that these are my kids. They said, that's not legitimization in the state of Georgia. That doesn't prove that you're the father.
What? What? Since when?
He had DNA test. He had the mother in court saying, this is the father of my children. And in the state of Georgia, if you are not married when that child is born, the only way to be legitimized is to have the court, a judge say, I legitimize you. And so for months, they held it over his head. They refused to legitimize him. His kids were in care for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But he got them back last week.
Oh,
I know. I saw that last night. That's
But
awesome.
here's the kicker. Here's the kicker on that. He has to foster his own kids. He has not been legitimized yet.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Because they can make more money if they keep them in foster.
Well, I know that. Why? That is absurd to me.
The judge is in on it too. The judge, he has cried and cried and cried to get legitimized. And every time they've had a hearing, he's been in court like 7 times. It keeps getting put off. It keeps getting, there's some reason. Well, we'll do it. And we'll do it. Or we'll get to that. Well, it kind of ran long. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
So why can't he have mom sign papers saying he's the father and put him on the birth certificate?
He's on the birth certificate.
Then he's the legal father.
Not in Georgia.
That's bullshit. The laws are not different. That's bullshit. Somebody's lying.
No, they told him because you were not married.
It doesn't matter. That's bullshit. We need
The
to look
judge
into
is in
that.
on it. The judge is in on it.
Then you know what? He needs to file a petition in a federal court that will recognize him. Because if he has DNA and he's on the birth certificate, he's the legal father and he's the biological father.
And the mother in court saying he's the dad.
Unbelievable.
And they're saying that the only way is for, and you know, I know Dana would love this, is for the government to come in and grant him that authority and say, we legitimize you as their father. That's bull. They're the only people with the power to say that, because scientific DNA evidence doesn't say that. The mother doesn't prove that. Like, all of this doesn't prove it until the judge says so.
Even if he wasn't the father, but he's on the birth certificate, he is legally the father. I gotta look this up real quick because this pissing me off.
It's Georgia.
You know it. I know it. I've been crying it. I've been telling him, but we can't win on this front. Now, we did win. You know, he's got the kids home, but he will be under their umbrella for the next, 3 months or whatever, while they continue to scrutinize his life, looking for a reason to remove the kids again.
Wow, that's nuts.
And now he's a single dad of 5 young kids all of a sudden, and he's got to work. And the chances that he's going to fall short somewhere someday are pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So their odds are pretty good. And that sucks.
Yep, it does.
Because we're all set up to fail. We're not allowed to be human.
Mm-hmm.
And she's right. They have to file a legal petition to be legitimized in Georgia.
Yep.
Even if he's on the birth certificate, he
Yep.
still has no rights. Legal custody remains with the mother if they were never married.
Wow.
Biological fathers hold no legal standing in Georgia. No visitation, no authority to make decisions, no nothing. They must petition the court to be legitimized. That is absolutely absurd.
You know, but they psyop society and they psyop these kids today. Like, you don't need to get married. You can just have babies, you know, or you don't even need to have babies. You can not have babies. You can anything you want. But then they make rules and laws like this behind your back so that you don't realize that your rights are being stolen from you. You know, used to there was a thing called common law, right? There's common law marriage, which isn't recognized anymore. But they do these things behind your back, and so the kids think, well, this is just society today. Not everybody gets married. That doesn't change anything, but it does. It changes everything. Because if they come to your house to take your kids, even if you've been living together for 20 years and you got 100 kids together and you've never left and you've always been there and everybody knows your daddy, you have no rights.
Okay, so actually, he can sign a voluntary paternity acknowledgement form at the hospital or later through state vital records. This becomes legal binding after 60 days unless invoked by fraud or a mistake. And that's OCGA 19-7-64 or 19-7-46.1. He doesn't even have to do it. It becomes legal in 60 days. All he has to do is contact the state of vital records and sign a voluntary paternity of knowledge form. That's it. Submit it, and he becomes the legal father after 60 days.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that and have him do that. But right now it's set, you know, no matter what.
He can do that. He doesn't have to tell them shit.
Right. But so this is the thing. So they're telling him you don't have a case because there's no allegations against him. He wasn't present at the residence when things went down. He didn't reside with her. They were broken up. This was all a situation that had to do with the mom.
Or he can file a petition in the Superior Court.
So we did. So originally, we had tried to file a petition in Superior Court, and they kicked it out of Superior and knocked it back down to juvenile and said that the judge that's presiding over the CPS case for the kids is going to handle the legitimization also. The thing is there is no CPS case against the father. There are no allegations against him. They're saying there's no case plan, but we're still going to come to your house for the next 6 months.
But it does warn men, once you get this and it takes effect, just be aware that you are now financially obligated to support these children.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I told him, I said, beware. But it looks like baby's mama might be going to jail for a while. So he's going to be single parenting.
Yeah, just have him fill out the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity through the state. I'm sure you can download it and have him send it in, and 60 days after they get it back, he's legitimately their father. Well,
Yeah,
all the men in Georgia, If y'all don't want to be connected to you crazy baby mamas, don't sign shit. It doesn't matter. Don't get an acknowledgement of paternity. Don't do none of that. That way you're not legally responsible.
I mean, that's literally what it is. Like, if you want to be a whore of a dude, move to Georgia.
Yeah, for real.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to have any money. You don't have to have, nobody's coming after you.
And you can be on the birth certificate. It still won't legitimize you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby's still going to call you daddy. Just she ain't going to call you my daddy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, just Google it like I did and it'll come up.
Yeah, definitely will. I definitely will. So I've had a good time working with him and getting that done. I got to tell you, it's easier. Some people, they're like, oh, this is very hard advocating, and it is hard. But it's obviously easier than going through it yourself, and it's easier to be on the outside and be able to take a breath when other people are panicking, and go, hey, it's okay.
I had a lady call me today. Thank God that she hired the lawyer I told her to. She was panicking. And I said, guess what? It's a brand new day. You got a lawyer that's going to rock that fucking courthouse. Don't worry about it. Smile. Stop crying. Put a smile on your face because he's going to rock that fucking world.
It matters.
She started smiling.
It matters, but they trick you too. Like the even good parents, like they start making you think, like, was I too harsh? I don't know. Did I yell too often? Did maybe I should have gave him a phone? I don't know. Is a phone necessary? I don't know.
Don't ever second guess yourself, because that's when you start doubting yourself, other people see it. I mean, it reeks.
But that's what they do. That CPS goes out of their way to take even good people who they're snowballed by this. They have no idea. But they're just being nitpicked for little things, little parenting styles, little differences. It's they want you to. They want to keep getting in those cracks, of your psyche, so that you do keep doubting yourself. And then
what I did was wrong. Okay, I know what I did was wrong, so I took my punishment. But their dad did not have to drop them off and voluntarily surrender them, and then me have to fight to get them back. I even signed up for temporary custody.
Well, and so here's the thing for all of my adoptions too. They love this. The psychological angle is what CPS is best at. So they pressured both of the families, the mother on one side and the mother and the father on the other side. They voluntarily signed away their rights.
They didn't play too many games with me because they knew what I went to prison for. And they knew I would not hesitate to go back. I made that very clear.
People, they love the psychology game. And CPS loves to play it. And it's hard to psych yourself up and say, I can do this. I can make it through, because the truth is you don't know.
I remember one time the CPS worker was like, if you don't go see your kids, I'm calling your parole officer. Well, I was sitting right in her fucking office. I picked the phone up and called my parole officer, and I told him what was going on. He said, put her on the phone. He said, I can't violate her. She's not breaking any law. Stop using me as a threat. I said, I bet you won't say that to me anymore, will you?
That's awesome.
I don't play their psychological warfare.
Any reach they can, they'll take it.
I even stopped pissing for them because I said, how am I pissing dirty for them the same day I'm pissing clean for you?
No.
He said never again.
No.
We are over top of them. You will piss one time for us because it was the feds, and the state and CPS will get the results from us from here on out.
Perfect. Yeah, I told my the guy I was advocating for too. He called me. He said, "Oh, they want me to do this psychological assessment. They want me to do a P test and da, da, da." And I said, "No. Did the judge tell you you had to?" I said, "Look, it was their choice to bring it in front of the judge. They didn't have to. They could have kept it their little CPS secret, and they could have bamboozled you, and they could have run you through the mill, but they didn't. They chose to bring it in front of a judge. So they're not in charge anymore. The judge is in charge now. They have surrendered that right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do a damn thing until you get back in front of that judge. Then you ask the judge, what would you like to have happen? And if the judge orders it, then you go do it."
Yep.
So the judge did ask him to take the P test. And I gave him your advice, Tiff. I said, just the second you leave there, you go straight to any lab quest facility. You go to your own facility. You take a private, and you take so that both results within the same freaking hour are available for the judge to see, so they can't screw you.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't think they do that to me." So I sent him a dozen videos of shit like, duh, you didn't see this, you didn't see that one, duh. They do this all the time. And he was like, okay. So he went and got another P test because he had to, but it did come back clean for him. But I think because he's kind of a big mouth, so he probably told him, "I'm gonna go take another test so y'all can't screw me."
Good. And he needs to keep voicing his opinion.
Yep.
And he needs to get that paper that I said he needs to fill out.
Yep.
Because after 60 days, he don't need no judge to legitimize him. They will already do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely send him that.
And tell him, don't tell nobody nothing. They'll send him a piece of paper in the mail. And then the next time somebody got something smart to say, you mean, oh, this paper right here? Oh, I am the father.
See, I would love if that would be the case, but we work with all kinds of people. And this boy talks.
That's okay.
If he gets that piece of paper, the second he gets it, he'll be like, "Look, y'all, look what I got."
That's fine. That's what I would do too. I would take my fat ass right on down there and be like, here it is.
You bet. Yep. Yeah, so we should be proud when we win.
That's right.
When we get one over, because they love to come show up at your house and be like, "Mm-hmm. So I heard that when you was in the 4th grade, you forged your mama's signature on that spelling test. Mm-hmm. What do you think that says about your character?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing. It says I can't spell.
Yeah.
That's it. But they always think they have an angle, and they will try to make you feel like they know something you don't.
Yeah, don't believe them. How do you know when a CPS worker's lying there?
Mouth is moving.
That's right. That's it. So guys, Classic is going to start her show within the sooner than later period of time, right? Classic? Right?
Yes, sooner than later. I have no life, so sooner is fine. This is all I do. I wouldn't mind doing it with some mascara on, but that's fine.
Yeah, well,
but I'll schedule a time. If the chat wants to be like, I don't know what's good evenings. I know everybody always enjoys when a daytime show comes on. I do. I'm like, ooh, we're going live in the day, yay!
Yeah, whatever floats your boat or their boat, you'll let us know, and we'll let everybody else know.
Okay.
That's that, and that's us for the weekend, right, Tiff?
Yep.
I've been trying to push my button. It hasn't been working for the last 5 minutes. I'm still trying to push the button. Hold on. I'm pushing the button. Oh, it worked. All right. It worked.
Love the music. Love the music.
You'll have a song now, too, Classic. You'll have your own tune.
Yeah, I have a song.
Yeah, you do, and you will have your own too. So, all right, everybody, have a good weekend. Keep CPS out of your house.
Thank you.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up, everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stopped losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by Tic-Tac. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. The birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come, picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken, sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. Your judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior. And we cry out to all you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. Our children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop!
The CPSPunisher.com is the app they never wanted you to find. If CPS is knocking at your door, intimidating you as a parent with police standing there waiting for you to talk back so they can arrest you and steal your kids, stand strong, tell them you want to see their warrant, they will leave. Lessons like these can save your family and are exactly what the CPS Punisher assists you with. If your lawyer isn't fighting for your child, now you can research anything and everything so you can be educated on the most up-to-date case law and court procedures. The CPS Punisher has more tools than Home Depot when it comes to recording data from your CPS case. Whether you need a timeline, log your visits, ask a question pertaining to the ADA, the CPS Punisher has it. Never again will CPS have the upper hand when you have the CPS Punisher. Visit